The name of our lesson, the book of Revelation revealed, part 1. You know, on the YouTube channel that I set up so I could share our lessons, you Hebrews, with our brothers and sisters worldwide. These past few months or so, I've been getting a lot of responses from Hebrews who've been wanting your brother Jacob to go over the book of Revelation to help them get some understanding. You know, when Aki Shiloh and Aki Owanya and your brother Jacob, we put these lessons together, is to try to increase your knowledge, that your faith might be increased, that we put forth these efforts, small as they may be, to help you on your spiritual walk with the Most High Yah. We are charged to do this because we bear witness to so many of our people being deceived and misled. And I give praise to the Most High that I pretty much taught myself how to make those videos and incorporate the audio from the lesson that we do on Shabbat nights. And it's been helping a lot of our brothers and sisters worldwide, so I was compelled to come forth with this lesson. And you know, we have to continue to put in work for our Abba, to counteract the workings of our adversary, Satan the devil. Because you have even Hebrews who know that they're Hebrew Israelites standing out here on street corners down here in Babylon, teaching things that they ought not teach, saying things that they ought not say. And I often have to remind people that we don't play that guilt by association game. Just because you heard one Hebrew camp let something crazy come out their mouth, don't come to me and say, oh, you Hebrews, y'all the ones that believe it's all right to rape 12-year-old girls. Now, what moron in his right mind would think is all right to rape 12-year-old babies? Especially my 12-year-old baby. It's going to be a problem. Yet we have Negroes running around down here in America saying outlandish things, doing outlandish things. And it's a COINTELPRO program. These Negroes are paid agents to do what they're doing. Now, never one to bear false witness. Because see, your brother Jacob, I ain't the type that throw rocks and hide my hands. If I talk about your mama player, you gonna know it, because I'm gonna talk about your mama. And you gonna know it's brother Jacob. We got Israelites out here doing things they ought not be doing. And I say Todah Yah to my brothers and sisters who teach the right way, that the children of Israel may be guided correctly. But never one to bear false witness. Y'all click on this link right here. When it opens it up, move it to the 4-minute and 30-second mark and just hit pause and leave it at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. When you open up that link, put it on 4 minutes and 30 seconds and put it on pause, come back up into the room and put a 7 up in her. And we're just going to watch a few minutes of this so that y'all will know and the world will know that when I come with facts that break heathens and stiff-necked Hebrews' backs, that's just what they are, facts. Now you got Hebrews running around here talking about we going to be raping 12-year-old babies in the kingdom and the Most High is going to be all right with it. I'm here to tell y'all these Negroes have lost their minds. They paid agents of our enemy Hashatan, and they gon' get dealt with. Now some of y'all may not have witnessed this, but it's up to brothers like me who ain't scared of these Negroes. Hell, I ain't scared of Satan himself, let alone somebody sucking the paps of the devil. I will snatch the drawers off the devil. I will snatch the drawers off of any evildoer. For what you do to the least of my people, you do to me, partner. And we gonna serve notice that the remnant of Zion, the true Hebrew Israelite bloodline, don't put up with the foolishness of none of these crazy Hebrews running around here with this crazed doctrine.
Just making sure. They said that you said it was okay to rape 12-year-old girls. I don't know if that's true.
Brought down.
Okay, good. That's what I want.
Slander.
That's what I'm saying. I wanted to know. I didn't put that on you. I didn't put it on you.
So you know what I thought? What we taught, which we teach now, is that when you go into the law in the ancient world, men, if they saw a woman that they like, they can grab the woman up and rape the woman, man. and we're going to read the scriptures. We're going to read the scriptures, all right?
No, somebody
hell no, you have no problem with that.
Years old.
The Lord has a problem.
No, but that's not good love.
Well, let me say this. Let me say this.
The Lord didn't have a problem with men raping a 12-year-old or any woman that they saw on sight.
The Lord didn't have a problem with it.
Why you David B? Okay.
But you know what you're thinking? See, you were brought up in this man's food system, so that's how you think. That's how you think. But back in the ancient world, if you saw, we're talking about, grab a woman, man.
And God had no problem with this?
Of course not. Let me tell you something, man. I mean, I don't want to speak like this around a woman, you know. But I'm gonna say this. But I'm gonna say this, man. Let me say this. Let me say this, bro. Let me say this.
I'm listening.
Most women dream about that.
Yeah, it's true. It's
all right.
It's true.
Most women fantasize about that, man.
Can I tell you something?
All right. Hey, man, my woman, my Ephraimite woman, when we used to do our thing, she used to say, "Well, go in the room and put clothes on, put a mask on, and bust in the door and rape my ass." Okay. And you know, when you do that with a woman, most of the women don't report that shit.
No, but listen.
They out there, brother. They out there, brother.
Let's not get lost. 12.
Women like
No, bro.
to go rape people, man.
We not telling. It's not all right in this society. It's not all right.
The scripture said you can do it.
But you're saying that.
But you don't do that.
But the scripture say you can.
The Lord.
But you know what? The scriptures also
When
say
they
you
don't allow us to do as the Lord would have permitted.
Well, it's true. Yes, that's true.
And it's far, now I'm talking in terms of raping a woman on sight if I wanted to.
First of all, the woman that
go to the scripture. Go to the scripture.
Yeah, the scripture answers it better.
That's scripture.
Yeah.
Deuteronomy 22 and 25. But if a man find a betrothed damsel in the field, and the man force her, I'm sorry, verse 28. My bad. Verse 28. Yeah. Yeah, verse 28. If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed.
The word virgin, by the way, is a Hebrew word. Let me see if I remember. Bathwala. All right. Now the prophecy of Mary, a virgin shall conceive. The word there, virgin, is ayalama, which means young woman of marriageable age.
Gotcha.
Virgin in here means bathwala, virgin, a woman that never been, hit, so to speak.
Gotcha.
Exactly.
If a man find a damsel that is a virgin, which is not betrothed, and lay hold on her, and lie with her, and they be found, Then the man that lay with her shall give unto the damsel's father 50 shekels of silver,
dowry,
and she shall be his wife, because he hath humbled her, he may not put her away all his days.
Now, when you go back, and you know the Hebrew,
When you sound like prostitution now.
No, he grabbed the woman in the field. The word, no. He humbled it. He gave it to the father after the fact. The word humble, when you go into the Hebrew, the word humble is the word ainah.
Yep.
When you look up the word ainah, it means to force, to take by force, to arrest. So what does that word mean? Rape.
Yeah.
It means rape.
I understand.
Okay.
Now, the next question is this. Now that the Bible has made it clear that it's permissible to rape, why are we still reading the Bible?
Because you know what? Because it's in the Bible. We have faith in the Bible. We have faith in the Most High. Whatever the Most High says, we got to accept it, man. Of course.
Absolutely.
Once you come into the faith, you know who you remind me of, man? You remind me of Neo. Talking to you remind me of Neo talking to Morpheus, and when he said this is the reality and it was a thermonuclear war, and he showed you what's going to happen to America, what did he do? He threw up. That's what you're going through, man.
So you telling me, hold up,
Movies,
you telling me if somebody was to rape your grandbaby that's 12 years old, you will be all right with that? God forbid. You will be all right with that?
In the kingdom, I couldn't do nothing about it in the kingdom.
In the kingdom
is
What do you mean
established.
by the kingdom? This is getting crazy, man. What do you mean by the
We're
kingdom?
looking for a kingdom.
Yeah,
we're looking for this white man to go down very soon and for us to come up.
So if y'all got a chance to be on your own land, like the pale Jews is trying to do,
It's not going to happen.
It's not
because
gonna
you know
happen.
what? The Israelite women they're gonna come freely to the men.
That's right.
We're gonna have to beat them off with a baseball bat. You know what I'm saying?
now that day obviously hasn't come yet. So what we're gonna do is talk about.
Wait a minute. Isaiah, what's that? Isaiah 4:1.
Do that, man.
Isaiah 4:1.
Yeah.
It was the African that raped
I gotta
Daniel.
read that.
You know?
You missed the whole point. You missed the whole point.
Listen,
Come back to the Israelites.
Let's let the scripture speak. Isaiah 4:1. And in that day, to back up the elder, and in that day 7 women shall take hold of one man, saying we will eat.
7 means
completion.
1,000 women.
Right.
Case in point, King Solomon had 1,000 women. He had listen. He had 700 wives and 300 concubines.
Women
You know
of
what a
other
concubine is? A woman that you just go in, do your business, and keep it moving. All right.
Yeah, so this is the day that's fast approaching. And in that day 7 women, which the brother explained it, 7 women shall take hold of one man. One man.
Yes.
All right? Saying we will eat our own bread, meaning they're going to cook.
You don't gotta pay rent. You don't gotta do
Now
nothing.
you see the deep shit about this is that it caters a lot to men. What do women get out of it? Just to get raped? What do they get out of it?
Polite said, hold on, look. Polite said the black woman is God, though.
That's right. So she ain't about
And
to
he
get
can
raped
prove
by
it
no
to you in your
Israelite.
Bible, but we ain't going to go there.
Hey, woman, you know what?
But that black woman is God, and no God,
How do you figure?
no culture, no community is about to accept that God would have been all right with a woman being raped.
How do you figure
Because
that?
that's your mind. That's your
That's
mind.
my mind.
That was my mind.
That's my
That's your
That's my being a
I
husband.
thought the same
That's
thing.
not being a man.
I thought the same thing.
A man, a husband, and a father wouldn't condone no doctrine that say at 12 years old or any age that it's permissible for someone to be raped.
That's right. No, give me Judges. What is it? Judges 19.
I'm trying to say this. No sane man is going to accept the doctrine at this point.
According to who?
You see, they said I was intelligent, but the truth is not with me. But this shit just got insane. Now I let them pass with the fish that ate a whole nigga. I let them pass with that shit. But you ain't getting the rape pass, man.
After his head is opened up, he gonna be flying, man. Just like Neo at the end of the
That's right.
movie.
That's right.
Let me ask you a question, brother. Before this keeps going, we have to ask you a question.
Well, let me-
How many of your fathers here? Just be for real. If you're a father.
I'm a father.
Now, what if someone is overwhelmed by the spirit of the Most High God? and he reads your scripture and he take your daughter and he just rape your daughter, what do you say to that? If he live like you live, walk like you walk, talk like you talk. Because y'all live amongst each other.
Yeah.
Y'all live amongst each other. So what happens when one of y'all feels so overwhelmed by the Spirit of God that when you see one of each other's daughters, you just grab her up? You gonna tell one of these brothers here, come on, you know the doctrine. You know how it get when you get...
Well, answer it.
We just told you that
how would y'all respond?
In this time,
We're not gonna let that happen.
that was
But
an
if it did happen,
Hold on.
But if it did happen, you would allow it to happen. Why? Because you go back to the scriptures.
You're supposed to be a brother.
Hold on. You gonna allow one of your brothers to rape your daughter?
You say rape as if rape simply means to grab.
No. We talking about. Now we read the verse. We read the verse where someone was.
You got
In
too
the
much
kingdom of heaven, hey, look,
too much
when
work.
No. We read the verse, man.
When
You
the
got
kingdom
too
is
much work
established,
in your head.
we're going to get women when they 12 years old.
Right.
All right?
Say it again.
As soon as they start, in the kingdom of heaven, when their period starts, that's when they become a woman.
Okay.
All right? So we're going to deal with them when their period starts.
Right.
When their
That's when
monthly
they're able to have
starts.
babies.
Question.
Have sex with them. Have babies, man.
with 12-year-olds.
Brother, there's in the kingdom, we're going to do that, man. We're going to get them young. We're going to get them young.
And the kingdom is
The kingdom is right here, but the Most High is going to establish
But
the
it's okay.
kingdom, all right?
Can I say something?
No, look up in Google women that were pregnant under the age of 12. You got
not-
9-year-old women that were pregnant.
But we ain't gonna
You got
deal with no
11-year-old that were pregnant. As soon as they get their period,
so when
they become a woman.
When did Eve
All right?
become a woman? When did Eve become a woman according to the Bible?
When did Eve become a woman?
At what age did she become a woman according to the
It
Bible?
doesn't tell you whenever she got a period. The same thing with Mary.
I got
Right?
your answer right here. I got your answer right here.
Hold on.
Why was the woman created?
Hold up, the elder got the answer. 12 years old.
Hold up, the elder
got the answer.
Okay,
This is
how old Eve was?
yeah, no, not Eve, but just in general as far
What
as
was
a
the woman
woman.
created for? The brother asked. I think that's a good
Okay,
question.
we'll answer that.
1 Corinthians 7:35.
I can answer that.
And this I speak for your own profit, not that I may cast a snare upon you, but for that which is comely, and that you may attend upon the Lord without distraction. But if any man think that he behaveth himself uncomely towards his virgin, if she pass the flower of her age, and need so require, let him do what he will, he sinneth not, let them marry. Now when does a woman have the flower of her age? The flower of her age is her period.
Do y'all see what we up against? Now we have enemies. He will use Negroes like this to cast a bad name upon you, to try to make you even to be ashamed to let somebody know that you're a Hebrew Israelite. Prefer to somebody to say, well, ain't y'all the ones that say it's all right to rape a 12-year-old girl? I profess to y'all that these Negroes is crazy as hell. Sitting there filled with lust, seeking carnal knowledge. And they pedophiles. For what man in his right mind would approach a 12-year-old baby with lust in his heart but a pervert? If there's anybody in this room that agrees with Brother Jacob, can I get a 1,000 up in her? When a Negro answered the question, what if your grandbaby got raped by one of your brothers up in your congregation? Oh, well, it's all right. It was official with me. These Negroes is paid agents. It's a COINTELPRO program being run by the Central Intelligence Agency against Hebrew Israelites worldwide, and especially the dry bones of Ezekiel, located down here in the Valley of Death, the United Snakes of America, Todah. And this is the reason why up in this room, on this channel, we shall put forth lessons rooted in the scripture that will be revealed as truth. I've never heard these Negroes all the time they out on the corners giving a biblical lesson, using chapter and verse they out there self-interpreting scriptures, misinterpreting scriptures, convoluting scriptures, and coming up with crazed doctrine that our enemies want under the umbrella of being a Hebrew Israelite. We reject that and don't play the guilt by association game. I apologize to the sisters of our faith who have to hear this kind of madness from these type Negroes. Y'all won't be being bomb rushed and raped, and especially the 12-year-old babies in y'all's kingdom. Them Negroes should have been struck down as dead the moment they let that come out their mouths. It's a setup, and to do that with heathens walking by. You seen it on the video. This is done out in the public. Real men ain't never been scared of real men, and I'm telling all them punk busters for leading the lost sheep of the house of Israel astray. There is a price to pay. And the Most High gonna deal with each and every one of you. Once again, the name of our lesson this Shabbat is the book of Revelation Revealed, Part 1. In the past week, we have witnessed one of the most powerful storms ever recorded in the annals of human history. Typhoon Haiyan hit the Philippines with catastrophic results, leaving more than 5,000 slain and counting. By the time they get through finding bodies up under all the rubble, destructions, and ruins in the Philippines, the body count maybe more than 50,000, 100,000. Just a few days later, we saw more than 80 tornadoes fall out of a winter sky. This ain't the spring. In mid-November, in the Midwest of America, wiping out everything in their paths, wiping whole towns off the map, and leaving heathens dazed, dead, and utterly amazed at the awesome power that was unleashed against them by the true and living Elohim, the Most High Yah. These events are coming upon this earth with alarming frequency and intensity, and are the birth pains that this earth is experiencing that was foretold of in the Holy Bible before the second coming of Yahushua HaMashiach, the Holy Lamb of Yah. Let's go to the book of Luke, chapter 21, and read verses 8 through 28. And with all you're getting, get you understanding. Because unlike them crazed Negroes out on them street corners babbling things that have no root nor foundation in the truth, we gonna walk you through it every step of the way and make sure with precise reading that you get understanding. in Luke chapter 21, verses 8 through 27, excuse me, Aki. We read, this is what Yeshua said concerning the end of this age. And he said, take heed that you be not deceived, for many shall come in my name, saying, I am Messiah, and the time draweth near. Go you not after them. Don't go down there to the desert where Benjamin the bus driver is hollering he the Messiah. Hell, I think he hollering he the Abba now. That Negro confused and early stage Alzheimer's setting in. We getting the reports of you trembling and spitting in cups till they full. The judgment is at hand. Go not after them. But when you shall hear of wars and commotions, be not terrified. For these things must first come to pass, but the end is not by and by. Then said he unto them, nation shall rise against nation, and kingdom against kingdom. And great earthquakes shall be in divers of various places, and famines, and pestilences, and fearful sights, and great signs shall there be from heaven. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you, and persecute you, delivering you up to the synagogues, and into prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. Be prepared, Zion. I'm tired of you cowardly Negroes. What a wilderness. Where we gonna run? What a wilderness. Where we gonna run? You cowards get to the rear with the gear. I'm sick of you. The whole lot of you. Got Negroes on YouTube talking about he gonna pedal his bicycle to the wilderness. Verse 12 again. But before all these, they shall lay their hands on you. Be prepared and persecute you. Get ready. Delivering you up to the synagogues and in the prisons, being brought before kings and rulers for my name's sake. And it shall turn to you for a testimony. Settle it therefore in your hearts, not to meditate before what you shall answer. For I will give you a mouth and wisdom, which all your adversaries shall not be able to gainsay nor resist. And you shall be betrayed by both parents and brethren and kinsfolks and friends, and some of you shall they cause to be put to death. And you shall be hated of all men for my name's sake. But there shall not a hair of your head perish. Stop right there. So why should I be scared? My dreads go down past my waist. I cuss this heathen out 24/7. I put these unrepentant Negroes on blast. I ain't scared of the devil himself. I speak as a dead man, for I know what I'm a candidate of. But if it's the will of the Most High, not one hair on my head gonna get touched. If there's anybody in this room that understood what I just said, put a 7 up in her, please. Those who are in fear of their life, ready to take off running at the first sign of trouble, the devil already got you licked. The Most High hates cowardice in his people. And I'm here to strengthen the hands of the lost sheep of the house of Israel. It's time to strap on the armaments of war, for the spiritual warfare is heating up. Continuing, verse 19, and Torah, in your patience possess ye your souls. And when you shall see Jerusalem compassed with armies, then know that the desolation thereof is near. Then let him which are in Judea flee to the mountains, and let them which are in the midst of it depart out. And let not them that are in the countries enter therein too. For these be the days of vengeance, that all things which are written may be fulfilled. But woe unto them that are with child, and to them that give suck in those days. For there shall be great distress in the land, and wrath upon this people. And they shall fall by the edge of the sword, and shall be led away captive into all nations. And Jerusalem shall be trodden down of the Gentiles until the times of the Gentiles be fulfilled, as it is to this second. For you got pink, booted, stinking, Khazarian kite converts walking around the streets of Jerusalem as we speak. They duck walking before Herod's temple, sticking in crackling notes in the cracks of that wall. And they running the government and military and political system of our beloved homeland. Oh yeah, Jerusalem is trodden down of the Gentiles until the time of the Gentiles be fulfilled. Verse 25. And there shall be signs in the sun and in the moon and in the stars, and upon the earth distress of nations with perplexity, the sea and the waves roaring. Men's hearts failing them for fear, and for looking after those things which are coming on the earth, for the powers of heaven shall be shaken. And then shall they see the Son of Man coming in a cloud with power and great glory. The reason your brother Jacob believed I've been getting so many requests to do a lesson on the book of Revelation is because some of these Hebrews who were probably new to this walk, while they were in their church that they came from, never went over the book of Revelation and all the Sundays they went there. I've asked some of these chillin'-eating, fat-bellied Negro preachers why they don't teach the book of Revelation to their congregation. We don't teach the book of Revelation because it scares the people. Scares the people. What kind of madness is that? We don't teach the book of Revelations because it scares the flock. Also, that's why we don't never heard T.D. Snakes and Cash Flow Dollar getting down on the book of Revelation, is it? So, our people often have to turn to the interpretation of the heathens concerning our manuscript given unto us. So I'm going to honor my Oxen and Cote's requests and do this lesson on the book of Revelation revealed. for the time is at hand. The birth pains that we are now witnessing, you Israelites, the super typhoons, the 80 tornadoes falling out of a winter sky. Tornadoes used to come in the spring, didn't they? You mean a tornado can come in the winter? Yes! And we're going to see more things than these. These are the birth pains that we are witnessing, that serve as a warning to those who have eyes that can see and who have ears that can hear. A warning that the book of Revelation is about to be fulfilled. These events are not the result of global warming, as the heathen scientists like to say. They are a result of Yah's warning. It's not global warming. It's Yah's warning. Let's go to the book of Revelation, chapter 1, verse 1, and begin this lesson. No, it ain't Mother Nature, player. It's the Most High. Let's bear witness whose revelation this is. Because most people that come out to churches ain't even clued into that. Why? Because they preacher say they're too scared to even take a peek into the book. I beg to differ. And I blow the trumpet in Zion and once again warn my people, Yisrael. In Revelation chapter 1, verse 1, we read, the revelation of Yeshua HaMashiach, which Yah gave unto him to show unto his servants things which must shortly come to pass. And he sent and signified it by his angel unto his servant John. So clearly we see this is the revelation of our Holy Messiah. And no, we ain't talking about that white boy with them blue eyes and blonde hair that you Hebrews is fresh up out the church saw up on your stained glass window every Sunday that you went to church. We talking about the true Lamb of Yah, who look like you and me. His hair is like ours. His skin is like ours. And often tell the heathen when they're confronted with this truth that Jesus ain't no white boy. Well, your Jesus might be a white boy, but Yeshua, the son of Yahweh, is a black Hebrew Israelite. And the first thing them heathens do, they faces turn, oh, what difference does the color make? Oh, all them years I thought he was white, it didn't make no difference. But the second I tell you he ain't a cracker, oh, it's a problem. These heathens would rather eat a feces sandwich with cheese on it than to worship a black Messiah. And I hope y'all know what a feces sandwich is. I won't tell you the street vernacular because it's the Shabbat. If you caught me on a Tuesday, I'll give you some graphic depictions. Let's keep it moving. This revelation of Yeshua was given unto him by our Abba. And he in turn gave it to an angel and sent it unto his servant John, so that John could put pen to paper, that it may be sent on to his fellow servants, that we might bear record of that which might come to pass. Verse 2. of the book of Revelation chapter 1. We read, who bear record of the word of Yah and of the testimony of Yeshua HaMashiach and of all the things that he saw. Blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. Stop. We just read clearly, blessed is he that readeth, and they that hear the words of this prophecy, and keep those things which are written therein, for the time is at hand. So I told these Negro preachers, who told me they don't teach the book of Revelation to their churches because it scared of people, that they are intentionally holding back a blessing from each and every member in their house, who they prevent from reading and hearing the prophecies of this book. If you understand that, put a 3 up in her. Because none of these Negro preachers that I put their feet to the fire to understood that. But it's easy to be understood. Todah. And I see by all these 3s flying up in her, all of y'all understand that. Continuing. The book of Revelation reveals that the Most High will soon inflict the world with a series of 14 plagues. These devastating events will not occur in random order, nor will they be freak disasters caused by Mother Nature or global warming. Now you have some who teach that the book of Revelation has already been fulfilled. This is the doctrine of preterism, a man-made doctrine conceived by a Catholic Jesuit priest who received demonic instructions to throw people off into thinking that the prophecies of the book of Revelation occurred 2,000 years ago. And those who believe in preterism will tell you that Nero Caesar was the Antichrist. The mark of the beast, all of that happened 2,000 years ago. And I tell them they've lost their collective minds. Because to believe in preterism is to believe that right now and for the past 2,000 years we've been living in Yah's kingdom. And with all the rampant wickedness taking place on this earth, anybody with a right mind knows that Satan is alive and well and raising plenty of hell. And we sure ain't living in Yah's kingdom. Where the hell is my handmaids and servants? Why I still got to work to pay some bills to keep my nostrils above water around this joint? Now, this ain't the kingdom that I seek. But again, be mindful, Zion. It's one of the old tricks of the devil to try to trip you up and throw you off the right path. No, the book of Revelation ain't hardly been fulfilled. No, that cracker Nero Caesar wasn't hardly the Antichrist. Nero not one day of his life ever stepped foot in Jerusalem, let alone into the rebuilt temple and declared himself God, and demanded every man, woman, and child on the planet pledge their allegiance and show their allegiance by taking the mark of the beast. Remember, the technology of 2,000 years ago cannot compare with the technology of today. And I believe Stevie Wonder should be able to see that. Now, as I stated, the book of Revelation reveals that the Most High will soon inflict the world with a series of 14 plagues. These devastating events will not occur in random order, nor will they be freak disasters caused by nature or global warming. The 7 first plagues are called 7 trumpets. Now, there are those who will tell you, when you begin to study the book of Revelation, that many things that you read in the book of Revelation are what's known as allegories, a symbolic representation of something. Again, I beg to differ. The Ruach HaKodesh has not revealed unto them, with that kind of belief rattling around in their head, the truth of the matter. For these events will actually happen. And we see the warning signs upon this earth right now that they are fast approaching. The first 7 plagues are called 7 trumpets in Revelation because they serve the purpose of warning or awakening the people of earth to the glorious arrival of our holy Messiah, Zion, the King of the Hebrews, Yahushua HaMashiach. The 7 last plagues are called 7 bowls because they represent 7 full cups of Yah's vengeance that he will pour out upon his enemies. Most of you who have ever read and studied the Holy Bible are aware of the 7-year tribulation period that was foretold of by our ancestors. The Great Tribulation will begin suddenly. We read in the book of Revelation that the Most High will cause his Spirit of truth to be shouted from one end of this world to the other, as y'all bear witness in this International Messianic Fellowship room this Shabbat. We also verify that the Most High will seal 144,000 Hebrew Israelites, 12,000 out of the 12 tribes of Israel, who will be sealed in their foreheads and who will bear Yah's testimony in these troublous times. And when the time comes for the 7 trumpets of the book of Revelation. Trouble will hit this world like you've never seen. The great tribulation will begin suddenly. It will begin with a global, worldwide earthquake that will disrupt the activities of the entire world. The book of Revelation predicts there will be a total of 4 global earthquakes. These earthquakes have no equal in recorded history. Each earthquake will have greater strength than the one before it. And the final earthquake will be so violent that it will literally move all of the mountains and islands from their places. Shortly after the first global earthquake, the 7 trumpets began to sound the ominous and deadly warnings of the Most High Yah. When the first trumpet sounds, showers of white-hot hailstones will rain down from the sky. A fantastic meteor firestorm will ignite unquenchable fires all over the world. And the heathens know it's coming. They've depicted it to you to get you conditioned for what's to come in movies like 2012. Y'all put a 5 up in her if you know what I'm talking about. In the movie 2012, they clearly showed meteors falling from the sky, tearing everything up from the floor up. Had heathens low running, jumping in cars, driving sideways. They showed the utter destruction that a meteor shower could bring. Todah! For the heathens know.
Victims adhere to the Mayan calendar, which predicts the end of time to occur on the 21st of December of 2012.
You won't believe this.
I thought we'd have more time.
The world, as we know it, will soon come to an end. It's starting.
The Mayans knew about it. The Bible. It's the end of the world, my friends. Yellowstone has become the world's largest volcano.
Daddy, what was that?
Don't look back, just look at me. Do I look scared?
We gotta get to the airport.
Guys, look.
Where are we going?
The government is building these ships.
The moment we stop fighting for each other, that's the moment that we lose our humanity.
Let's go to Revelation chapter 8 and read verses 1 through 7. In Revelation chapter 8, verse 1, we read, "And when he had opened the seventh seal, there was silence in heaven about the space of half an hour. And I saw the seven angels which stood before the Most High, and to them were given seven trumpets. And another angel came and stood at the altar, having a golden censer, and there was given unto him much incense, that he should offer it with the prayers of all saints upon the golden altar which was before the throne. And the smoke of the incense, which came with the prayers of the saints, ascended up before Yah out of the angel's hand. And the angel took the censer and filled it with fire of the altar and cast it into the earth. And there were voices and thunderings and lightnings and an earthquake. And the seven angels, which had the seven trumpets, prepared themselves to sound. The first angel sounded, and there followed hail and fire mingled with blood, and they were cast upon the earth. And the third part of trees was burnt up, and all green grass was burnt up. As a result of this, billions of acres of trees, food crops, and vegetation will be destroyed. And millions of people will be left homeless, and many more will suffer and die as a result of this first trumpet. Soon after this event, the second trumpet will sound, and an asteroid likened unto a great mountain burning with fire shall be cast into the sea. And a third of the creatures in the world's oceans, and a third of the ships in those oceans will be destroyed. Let's read Revelation chapter 8, verses 8 and 9. In Revelation chapter 8, verses 8 and 9 we read, "And the second angel sounded, and as it were a great mountain burning with fire was cast into the sea, and the third part of the sea became blood. And the third part of the creatures which were in the sea and had life died. And the third part of the ships were destroyed." This is not an allegory, a symbolic representation. No, partner, this will actually happen. When the third trumpet is sounded, another asteroid will fall from heaven, burning as it was a lamp, and it will break up and fall upon a third of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. This will have devastating results. If y'all remember in a week in review a few months ago, when that media came down and broke up over Russia, and people were able to film it with their video cameras, you saw the might and power of what a little small piece of a rock could do. So imagine when this second trumpet is sounded and turned loose, the devastating results that will take place on this earth. Water supplies will be contaminated, and millions will die from drinking water that contains deadly bacteria and toxic chemicals that these heathens have been storing underground. But when this asteroid breaks up and violently hits the earth, those pockets of toxic chemicals and waste dumps will be disturbed and will contaminate clean drinking water supplies all over Earth. And millions are going to die because a third part of the waters will be turned into wormwood. Let's verify this in the manuscript. Let's go to Revelation chapter 8, verses 10 and 11. And let's read with understanding. We read, "And the third angel sounded, and there fell a great star from heaven, burning as it were a lamp, and it fell upon the third part of the rivers and upon the fountains of waters. And the name of the star is called Wormwood. And the third part of the waters became wormwood. And many men died of the waters, because they were made bitter." If you clearly understand what wormwood is and what will cause the drinking water supplies of the earth to be turned into wormwood, and that when men drink these bitter wormwood waters and will die, if you understand these first three trumpets, when they were sounded, and the results thereof, if you clearly understand that up to this point, before we go a step further, put a 77 up in here for your brother Jacob. Please. Because I disagree with the fat-bellied preacher. I would rather be warned for what's to come and be prepared than to be told you was too scared for me to tell you that and go in clueless. Don't have a clue what's taking place. Toda. I truly thought so. Continuing. When the fourth trumpet sounds, 1/3 part of the sun, moon, and stars shall be darkened. Revelation prophesies that as a result of this happening, there will be a great darkness that shall come upon this earth. What could cause this on a global scale? Hundreds of powerful, violent volcano eruptions will occur that will cause this blackout. These will be numerous and happening at the same time, and will shoot megatons of hot ash and soot into the air, getting up into the jet stream and forming dense clouds in the atmosphere, which will prevent the sun, the moon, and the stars from being seen down here on earth by man for a third part of a day, causing blackout conditions to a world already racked by the previous 3 trumpets sounding. Many of you have borne witness to volcano eruptions, and you have seen the soot and the ash that is shot forth into the atmosphere. When the Most High unleashes simultaneous volcano eruptions around the world, we shall see the results of the 4th angel sounding. Let's read Revelation chapter 8, verses 12 and 13, and get understanding. We read, and the 4th angel sounded, and the 3rd part of the sun was smitten, and the 3rd part of the moon, and the 3rd part of the stars, so as the 3rd part of them was darkened, and the day shone not for a 3rd part of it, and the night likewise. And I beheld, and I heard an angel flying through the midst of heaven, saying with a loud voice, Woe! 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 To the inhabitants of the earth, by reason of the other voices of the trumpet of the 3 angels which are yet to sound. Now after these first 4 trumpets, I think the Most High gonna have the whole world's attention. What y'all think? These heathens' knees gonna be knocking. They gonna be declaring that these are acts of God that are taking place. And they sure gonna be telling the truth. It's gonna be chaos. And in the background, the world leaders will be conveying with one another. And they will be seeking a man who can lead them out of the terribleness that they are experiencing. Global conflict will come to a halt at this point. The one world government shall be firmly established, and a one world leader will emerge. This is going on in the background while these trumpets are blasting, continuing. When the 5th angel sounds his trumpet, the bottomless pit shall be opened, and there shall arise a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And out of the smoke shall come a great host of locusts, who will have the power to sting like scorpions, that will torment mankind for 5 months. The vicious stings that they will give out will cause men to seek death and desire to die. But death will flee from them, and they will continue to suffer and be tormented. Let's verify this in Revelation chapter 9, verses 1 through 12. And the fifth angel sounded, and I saw a star fall from heaven unto the earth. And to him was given the key of the bottomless pit. And he opened the bottomless pit, and there arose a smoke out of the pit, as the smoke of a great furnace. And the sun and the earth were darkened by reason of the smoke of the pit. And there came out of the smoke locusts upon the earth, and unto them was given power, as the scorpions of the earth have power. And it was commanded them that they should not hurt the grass of the earth, neither any green thing, neither any tree, but only those men which have not the seal of Yah in their foreheads. And to them it was given that they should not kill them, but that they should be tormented 5 months. And their torment was as the torment of a scorpion, when he striketh a man. And in those days shall men seek death and shall not find it. Imagine praying to die, you rack with pain. Oh, I can't take it. Oh, I can't take it. Death! Death, where are you? Take me, please. I can't take it. I love to open up the door and say, no, sucker, keep writhing. You got about 4 more months to go. Bye. And go on to the next door. Hear that next fool. I can't take it. Oh, he gonna sting me again. Don't sting me. Don't sting me. I want to die. I want to die. I knock on his door. Open the door. You can't die. Keep suffering. Bye. Go down to the next wicked creature's house. I don't want to run to no wilderness. I want to bear witness of these things. I want to be a testimony of these things. And tell my enemies openly. Let me read that again, because I enjoy reading that verse. And in those days shall men seek death, and shall not find it, and shall desire to die, and death shall flee from them. And the shapes of the locusts were like unto horses prepared unto battle, and on their heads were crowns like gold, and their faces were as the faces of men. And they had hair as the hair of women, and their teeth were as the teeth of lions. And they had breastplates, as it were breastplates of iron. And the sound of their wings was as the sound of chariots of many horses running to battle. And they had tails like unto scorpions, and there were stings in their tails, and their power was to hurt men 5 months. And they had a king over them, which is the angel of the bottomless pit, whose name in the Hebrew tongue is Abaddon, but in the Greek tongue hath his name Apollyon. One woe is past, and behold, there comes 2 woes more hereafter. When the 6th angel sounds his trumpet, the 4 angels which are bound in the great river Euphrates will be turned loose, who will slay 1/3 of mankind. Think about that. 1/3 of mankind. Right now, there are more than 6 billion people alive on this earth. 1/3 of 6 billion is 2 billion all day long. Do the math. Those 4 angels and their army of horsemen will slaughter many of the enemies of the Most High Yah. During the first 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation period, the first 6 trumpets shall be sounded. Let me say that again. During the first 3.5 years of the 7-year tribulation period, the first 6 trumpets shall be sounded. During this time, the one world government will be established, proclaiming to have a plan to save mankind from what is going on the planet and what man is going through. And in the middle of the tribulation period, they will anoint their unquestioned leader and ruler in an elaborate ceremony that will be broadcast worldwide on every TV station in the world, from the rebuilt temple in Jerusalem. And they will reveal their leader and ruler, the Antichrist, Mr. 666 himself. If you understand that, put a 5 up in her. These events did not take place 2,000 years ago. These events have yet to take place upon this earth. And it's this generation that shall witness the fulfillment of these prophecies. Torah. The Most High shall send forth his 2 witnesses, Enoch and Elijah, to go forth and to warn mankind. And Enoch and Elijah shall tell all that the man sitting over in that temple, who just declared himself God, is who we foretold of long ago. And these 2 witnesses shall testify to not take his mark in allegiance to him, that you would worship him and proclaim him as your God. Because if you do, you shall go to the lake of fire for all eternity. And indeed, our adversary will require that he be worshipped as God. And the only way that you can prove to him and his followers your allegiance to them is to take his mark. Before the mark of the beast is implemented, everyone on earth will have heard the gospel thanks to the 144,000 Hebrew Israelites who were sealed by Yah, 12,000 out of each of the 12 tribes of Israel, who were sealed in their foreheads, and will testify to the whole world what will happen to all who take the mark of the beast, along with the 2 witnesses that Yah shall send forth. Won't be no excuse. Everybody gonna have a clear mind on whether they gonna take this mark or not. Now some gonna fear the consequences, because we clearly read in the manuscript that if you refuse to take the mark of the beast, you become decapitated. Public executions where your head get cut off. The spiritual cowards amongst my brethren, they might be strong standing in line till they get to seeing folks getting their heads lopped off. Then they're going to start getting a little weak in the knees. Then as they're getting closer and closer to them guillotines, knees might buckle and break. And because they scared of the first death, at the last minute they might, okay, I'll take it. Lake of fire for you. Some ain't going to be able to endure hunger pains. Your belly button touching your spine with hunger. Because the only way you're going to be able to buy, sell, or trade anything on this planet in this one world government and new world order that's coming is you have to have the mark of the beast in order to transact any and all kinds of business. And some will fall by the wayside from hunger pains and fear. Some of y'all who need medication to survive on a daily basis, you got asthma and you need them inhalers, and you got diabetes and you need that medication for your shots, and you got high blood pressure and you need them horse pills to throw down your neck. The adversary may tell you the only way you can get your prescription filled or buy an inhaler for your baby, take the mark. And instead of standing on faith, some gonna buckle under the pressure, gonna give in, and they gonna take the mark of the beast. And it's gonna be some trouble for them. For all who take the mark, there is only one end. One end. Now when the 144,000 and the 2 witnesses give their testimony, Enoch and Elisha, that's when the 7th trumpet will blow. And heaven's door of mercy shall be closed. And the mystery and prophecies of Yah shall be closed to mankind and finished. Because at that point, you gonna either decide you rolling with the Most High, or you down with the Antichrist and the New World Order. So when that 7th trumpet blows, the door is closed. And thus begins the final 3.5 years of the tribulation period. Let's go to Revelation chapter 10, verse 7. To verify this. In Revelation chapter 10, verse 7, we read, "But in the days of the voice of the seventh angel, when he shall begin to sound, the mystery of Yah shall be finished, as he hath declared to his servants, the prophets." It's finished. When that seventh trumpet is blown, there'll be no more instructions. There'll be no more advice. All those who gonna choose up sides, it's gonna choose up sides. It's right after this trumpet sounds that ceremony shall be held in a rebuilt temple in Jerusalem, in which the Antichrist will declare himself God and demand you show your allegiance to him by taking the mark of the beast. Let's go to Revelation chapter 13 and start with verse 1. And after reading chapter 13, I'm going to demonstrate to you in part 1 of this lesson, the book of Revelation revealed that the beast technology is already here and running. You are taking part in it whether you know it or not, for the time is at. Revelation chapter 13 verse 1 we read, "And I stood upon the sand of the sea, and I saw a beast rise up out of the sea, having 7 heads and 10 horns, and upon his horns 10 crowns, and upon his heads the name of blasphemy. And the beast which I saw was like unto a leopard, and his feet were as the feet of a bear, and his mouth as the mouth of a lion. And the dragon gave him his power, and his seat, and great authority. And I saw one of his heads as it were wounded to death, and his deadly wound was healed. And all the world wondered after the beast, and they worshipped the dragon, which gave power unto the beast. And they worshipped the beast, saying, Who is like unto the beast? Who is able to make war with him? And there was given unto him a mouth speaking great things and blasphemies. And power was given unto him to continue 42 months, 3½ years. And he opened his mouth in blasphemy against Yah, to blaspheme his name, and his tabernacle, and them that dwell in heaven. And it was given unto him to make war with the saints, and to overcome them. And power was given him over all kindreds, and tongues, and nations. And they that dwell upon the earth shall worship him, whose names are not written in the book of life of the Lamb slain from the foundation of the world. Stop. John saw the revival of the Holy Roman Empire, which is the European Union, the common market nations of Europe, the EU, which has been formed in these latter times, to be the revived Roman Empire, that received the deadly wound when Rome failed many centuries ago, but is now back and operating upon this planet, with the Vatican City being the power source and where Satan's seat is. From out of her will come the world ruler of the new world order, who will blaspheme the name of the Most High Yah, who will be given power for 3.5 years to reign upon this earth. And oh yes, he is going to make war with the saints. And who are the saints? The remnant of the lost sheep of the house of Yisrael. That's you, Zion. So all that running off and hiding in caves, looking for a wilderness over here, looking for a wilderness over there, you've been steered wrong, player. Ain't nowhere to run, ain't nowhere to hide. You're going to have to stand on it, as our brothers did at the fiery furnace, as Daniel did down in the lion's den. Ask y'all for some courage. He'll give it to you. Continuing. Verse 9 of Revelation chapter 13. We read, if any man have an ear, let him hear. He that leadeth into captivity shall go into captivity. He that killeth with the sword must be killed with the sword. Here is the patience and the faith of the saints. And I beheld another beast coming out of the earth, and he had 2 horns like a lamb, and he spake as a dragon. And he exerciseth all the power of the first beast before him, and causeth the earth and them which dwell therein to worship the first beast, whose deadly wound was healed. And he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men. Stop! This man who will come out of the rebuilt temple in Jerusalem, who will declare himself God and will be the unquestioned leader of the new world order and the revived Roman Empire, will have the power to call lightning down from the skies. But it ain't going to be nothing more than a David Copperfield trick. It'll be part of Project Bluebeam that these heathens have been perfecting for these past decades, where they can put on a light show in the sky. And for those who are unprepared and those who are not aware that these things are coming, it's going to be like, man, he is God. Did you see that? But there are those of us who are counted amongst the remnant of Zion, who have been charged to blow the trumpet and holler from the rooftops and warn this people, Yisrael, of these things which must shortly come to pass, that they be not deceived. Again, verse 13, and he doeth great wonders, so that he maketh fire come down from heaven on the earth in the sight of men, and deceiveth them that dwell on the earth by the means of those miracles which he had power to do in the sight of the beast, saying to them that dwell on the earth that they should make an image to the beast, which had the wound by a sword and did live. And he had power to give life unto the image of the beast, that the image of the beast should both speak and cause that as many as would not worship the image of the beast should be killed. And he causeth all, both small and great, rich and poor, free and bond, to receive a mark in their right hand or in their foreheads, and that no man might buy or sell, save he that had the mark, or the name of the beast, or the number of his name. Here is wisdom. Let him that hath understanding count the number of the beast, for it is the number of a man, and his number is 666. Now, many years ago, I'll say about 25 to be exact, when I first started doing heavy in-depth study on the book of Revelation, I prayed to the Most High Yah that the Ruach HaKodesh would reveal unto me the inner workings of my enemy. And if it was so, I would have the courage to not only learn it, but to show my brethren in defiance of my enemies. And to let them know you can fool some of the people some of the time, but you sure can't fool all the people all the time. And I went to work. I got a book called When Your Money Fails by Mary Stuart Ralph. This white woman let it be known that the Universal Product Code was the forerunner of the mark of the beast, and inside that product code was the number 666. And sure enough, there it was on the cover of a book. I called Mary Stuart Ralph. I asked that white woman, were you scared to put this out? She said she was compelled to by the Lord Jesus. I say, Jesus ain't no white boy. Thank you very much. Click her up. I hung up on her. Because I just wanted to know, was you scared to put that book out? She gave me the answer. That's all I needed. And I began to show my brothers that on every loaf of bread that you buy, on every canned good that you purchase, up in all these stores and shops, you're about to start finding this thing they call the UPC code. And sure enough, look at your lighter. Look at your loaf of bread. Look at your pack of cookies. You see that barcode on that? Within that barcode is the number 666. This was back in like mid-80s. People was like, Brother Jacob, nah. I see them use that barcode as just to speed up the lines at the supermarket. I said, that's what they want you to believe. I said, pretty soon, man, don't you know you're going to be able to go to the bank at 3 o'clock in the morning and get some money and won't have to see a teller? They said, nigga, you crazy. This was before ATMs. Remember, y'all, this was back in 85. I began to tell my people, that these things was coming upon this earth, they thought I was crazy. Well, fast forward to the 2013, of course, we all know now, you can go to the bank. Hell, you ain't even got to go to the bank. You can go to an ATM machine and get some money without seeing a teller. The people who used to call me crazy back in '85, they call me Brother Jacob today. And always consulting with me about world events that they see taking place. Because they didn't believe me then. But I told them way back then, don't believe me, research it for yourself and just keep breathing. Because you're going to see these things come to pass. Back in the early to mid-90s, microchip technology began to emerge. Did some quick research, and see, this was tied directly in to the UPC codes on every product. And these heathens with a microchip and using modern technology finally had the capability of assigning a number to every human being on earth. And sure enough, as the years went by, more and more heathens, just like Mary Stuart Ralph, who wrote that book, The New Money System, and When Your Money Fails, I guess they was compelled by the Holy Spirit and white Jesus to start telling it. And these heathens been telling it ever since. Because it was given unto the heathens to know these things. Because they wanted to make sure we would be the last people on the planet who would find out about these things, Zion. So here we are in the 2013, and I'm telling y'all right now, point blank, the beast system is here. And the discussions of putting these microchips in human beings is already taking place. But don't believe me. Y'all click on this link right here. And as we close out part 1 of the book of Revelation revealed, y'all will know from this day forward that the beast system is here. Mr. 666 is on the planet. He may be listening right now. Lake of fire for your partner, human hyena. And y'all shall know beyond a shadow of a doubt that the technology that we're using today was foretold of in the book of Revelation 2,000 years ago. If you can click on that link right there, somebody come up in this room and put a 7 up in here. And let's check this out together. Just a couple of things we gonna read, just a couple of videos we gonna peep. They all supplied on this link that I provided for you. Todah. The mark of the beast and the implantable RFID chip. The dawning of the worldwide human tracking system. The brains of the mark of the beast. The RFID chip. This is the star product of a company called the Positive ID Corporation, formerly VeriChip. What do they sell? They sell the actual implantable RFID, which stands for radio frequency identification microchip, and their mission is to put this chip into each and every human being on the planet. Y'all scroll down. To where it says the mark of the beast. The first thing you need to understand about the mark of the beast is that it is a worldwide system that collects and gathers information and ties it in with personal records of all kinds. This will culminate in a chip implanted in your body that will personally connect you to the system. Today you see that information is already being collected when you use your debit card, the loyalty card at the supermarket. Your car has computer chips that enable it to function. Everything is controlled by chips that feeds the information to various databases around the world. Even the internet itself is part of this system. Scroll down. We have become a worldwide connected society whose every move is being tracked and cataloged. For now, it's all voluntary. And the New World Order has to reply on making cool devices to lure us in to wanting to be tracked. iPhones, smartphones, RFID chips. But the day is coming where you will be forced to have a chip put inside your body. When that day comes, you will know who the Antichrist is, because he will be the one in power over the whole world. Accepting that chip will mean you side with the Antichrist and against God. Accepting the chip will doom your soul to the lake of fire forever. What is RFID? Radio frequency identification. It's the chip. Y'all scroll down to this small 21-second video where you will hear the current Vice President Joe Biden as the Chief Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Will they be deciding if humans can be microchipped?
Can a microscopic tag be implanted in a person's body to track his every movement? There's actual discussion about that. You will rule on that, mark my words, before your tenure is over. Can brain scans be used to determine whether a person is inclined toward criminality or violent behavior? You will rule on that.
Part of this Obamacare that has been forced upon all the people of America involves down the line taking one of these microchips. You see how all this is coming together? Back in '85 when I was telling folks about these things, it was kind of hard to see that far ahead. But if you can clearly understand and see these things, and that we at the doorstep, if y'all agree with Brother Jacob that the beast technology is here, and these matters are being discussed, put a 7 up in her. Please. Because they truly are. Obama is doing the bidding of his masters who put him in power. And that Obamacare will have so many people locked into the mark of the beast, it ain't funny. And people will fall for it hook, line, and sinker. They don't care if they got to get you to take it for health care, for food, or to keep breathing air. they going to get about their master's business. All right, go back to that link, because I got one more video I want to share with you, Hebrews, before we close out part 1 of the book of Revelation revealed. On that link, there is a commercial on how you're going to shop in the future. Remember, when the New World Order starts, it will be a one world government, and money like we use it now, each country with their own cash, that will truly be a thing of the past, Zion. Those things will be like the ancient days, a thing of the past. And the heathens know it.
Excuse me, sir. Forgot your receipt.
Checkout lines. Who needs them?
Have a nice day.
This is the future of e-business.
If you notice on that commercial, looked like the man was shoplifting, sticking meat in his inside pockets, putting canned goods here, putting canned goods out. He wasn't shoplifting, he was shopping. Money will be obsolete. When he went through the checkout line, ain't no checkout line. For everything that he was purchasing was scanned, and his chip was scanned all at the same time. And IBM has come out and let the world be known. They are the company behind the mark of the beast technology that is set up and equipped in every store that you can walk into right now, today. Now, only those who have eyes that can see and ears that can hear can understand that commercial that you just witnessed. They are telling you, point blank, this is how you will shop in the future. He had the mark of the beast, and that's how it will be used and implemented. If there's anybody in this room that understood that commercial in the context with the book of Revelation, put a 1,000 up in her, please. Todah. And I profess to our brothers who believe in that preterism, the technology that you saw in that commercial did not exist 2,000 years ago. It exists right now, today. For we are knocking at the door. That's our lesson. The book of Revelation revealed. Part 1.